everyone for the second time. My name is Tim Joseph. I'm the Vice Principal from Cats College in Cambridge. Today, what I wanted to talk to you about was Cats College in general, some of the recent developments there, and CSVPA, and a little bit about the British education system. There's always lots of news in education, and last night, while I was here in Seoul, I received information that, for example, as I'm looking at this screen now, Queen Mary College has been added to the Russell Group Universities. Now that only happened this week. What does the Russell Group Universities mean? It means the top 20 universities in the UK. Oxford, Cambridge, UCL, LSE, Imperial, and 15 other very, very select universities. Oxford and Cambridge and those London colleges are always right at the very, very top. But the universities from about 17 to 20 can sometimes change. So this year, for example, Queen Mary has been added. Also, Exeter has now joined the Russell Group University, and so has Durham University. And what do these Russell Group Universities mean in general? Well, I want you to imagine a pie chart. And that pie chart represents the 115 universities in the UK. 115. These top 20 universities in the Russell Group are Oxbridge, London, Mary, Durham, Exeter, Manchester, Birmingham, and the others. Percent government money. 115 universities, and 20 of them are receiving 15% of British government money. And that's what makes those universities special. The fact that they have more money than most of the other universities means they can employ the best professors, they can have the finest libraries, they can get the best equipment, they can invest in the finest research facilities, and most importantly, they can choose the best students, and they can have classes which are smaller than the gathering in this room. What have we got in this room? We've got 4, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13 people. They can have really small, intimate classes. That's what makes the Russell Group a little bit special. The higher you go, the smaller and smaller the class. Eventually, when you get to the top few universities, quite often by yourself, because the premise, the argument is that you are so intelligent that you can study independently, just with minimal help from your tutors, pushing you in the right direction, pushing you towards a library to get a particular book, pushing you towards reading a newspaper to find out an article. So those top universities, which we try to get our students into, are very, very special. They're high-achieving universities. They can now ask students for all A grades. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about education in general, where we fit into it, and as I say, some of the latest developments. So Cats College has been going for about 60 years. Could you just move the slide, please? Thank you. And we're based in 3 locations. In Cambridge, obviously very, very famous for its university. The university is 802 years old. Canterbury, another very ancient city, about the same size as Cambridge, quite a nice, gentle city, voted the safest city in the UK. So a good place to send students who perhaps going away for the first time. And London, which which doesn't need any explanation. The capital city, strategically situated between the US and Asia, so a focal point for world business and economics, and still a leader in terms of music, fashion, medicine, law, business. So those very, very professional fields that students aspire to. Our results and destinations are impressive. Now that's an old slide, that's 2010, and I can tell you that part of my job as Vice Principal at the college is to keep on top of the academic achievements. I have to look at the students, and I have to get them to better destinations, and to get them to better destinations they need better results. And the other part of my job, which is a huge part of my job, is to keep on top of the teachers. Now, I'm not very popular at the college because my job is to do lots and lots of inspections of all of the staff. And I do that across Cambridge, and Canterbury and London. Just ensuring that the teachers can deliver confidently, clearly, and that the students can maximise their learning potential. Last year, we got 30 students into Russell Group universities. This year, I'm expecting to get 50 from Cambridge alone. And I'm expecting another 50 to go from London, and a similar number to go from Canterbury. So I'm raising the bar in terms of students' destinations. 2 years ago, it was 36%. Last year, it was 50%. So that one has gone up by 14% in a year. It's going to be impossible for me to keep delivering every year to increase and increase, but I will do my best. And as you can see, 78% times top 30 universities. So I told you that the Russell Group was the top 20. Well, the universities from 21 to 30, if you ever hear the word 1994 group, that's university 21 to 30. Well, the 1995, that's what it's for. So Russell Group, the top 20, and 1994, which is university. And from 21, 22, 23 to 2019, 18, there's quite often change, and the universities change positions. But what I tell students, and when I travel and meet with people like you, I can say, hand on heart, that the top 20 universities in the UK are in the top 40. Certainly Oxford and Cambridge, London will always be there. Harvard, Yale, some of the Ivy League universities will be. So, because I'm based in Cambridge, I actually don't send many students to Oxford. We try to send them to Cambridge because we have good links with the colleges. We know lots of the professors. We know the admissions process much better in Cambridge. These were the rankings 2 years ago: Cambridge, Imperial, St Andrews, LSE, Durham, UCL, Warwick, York, Lancaster. These are all still in the top 20 at least. The Oxford was the number 1. We are selective when we try to get students into these very, very good destinations. I do a very little bit of teaching at the school, English sometimes, just to get. And then I teach at the other extreme. I teach the students who are trying to. How to argue, discuss, analyse, problem solve, logic, things like that. Because when students go to their interviews, particularly at Oxford and Cambridge, and sometimes in London, the interviewers tend to ask them questions where there are no real answers, and the interviewers are just trying to see how the students cope under pressure by being asked difficult questions. And that's going to take me into a different part of the discussion now. I'm going to move away from the slides a little bit. I'm sure everybody is fully aware that most students in England, the usual route to get to university is by doing A-levels. And A-levels, as you know, is a 2-year course. And traditionally, you would choose 4 A-levels. So, sir, if you came to me and you said, I want to be a medical doctor, I would say to you, okay, you need to do maths, physics, chemistry, and biology. You do that in year 1. And in year 2, sometimes students drop one of their subjects and continue. Drop maths, physics, chemistry, biology. Perhaps you would drop physics and continue with maths, biology, chemistry. Actually, for becoming a doctor, I would say to continue with all 4. Start with 4, continue with 4. So most students in the UK do this A-level route. AS, year 1, and A2, year 2. Right? And it's 50% AS and 50% A2. That makes you 100%. So students have to start working straight away. They'll have an examination at the end of year 1, and they'll have an examination at the end of year 2. Most British students do that. And that's what we teach at Cambridge. We also do that at Canterbury, and we also do that at London, 2-year course. If students are very, very bright, exceptionally bright, and perhaps if they're a little bit older and they haven't got 2 years to spend, it is possible to do A-levels in 1 year. But I don't encourage that. It's only for the very bright students. They don't do 4 subjects, they do 3 subjects in 1 year. That's quite a lot to ask students to do. And this fast 1-year program we do at Cambridge, you don't do it in Canterbury, we do it in London. So 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, A-levels. 1 year, no, that's Canterbury. 1 year, London. Standing on the floor here, you imagine that this type here is Cambridge, here is Canterbury, here is London. Standing in Canterbury, they do A-levels, but it's only very small. What we do in Canterbury is the IB. The IB is the International Baccalaureate. Now with A-levels, you do 4 subjects, the maths, physics, chemistry, biology. With the IB, I think it's actually a little bit more difficult because you have to do 6 subjects. So even if you are not good at maths, you have to continue with maths. Even if you are not good at a language, you have to continue with the language. So you do 3 subjects at higher level and 3 subjects at standard level. Now, very often, parents and students and agents come to me and they say, well, you know, what's the big difference between A-levels and the IB? And actually, I'm in a really good position to tell you because I've got 3 children. They're all big now, they've all left home. But 2 of my children did A-levels and 1 did the IB. And why was that? Well, the 2 who did A-levels, they knew what they wanted to do. They said, right, I want to do this. And I said, okay, we'll do these 4 subjects. So that's the best thing to do that. And the one who did the IB, when she was 16, she said, Dad, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do at university. I don't know what job I want to do. I'm just not. So for her, I said, do you want to stop school? She said, no, I want to continue. I don't want to. So for her, the International Baccalaureate was the best option because she didn't have to specialise into her 4 subjects. She kept everything. And strangely, she the one who has now left England and is in America, so she found that a very, very useful qualification. A-levels, IB. Students perhaps who are a little bit older, but are not aiming for those top 20 Russell Group universities or the universities from 21 to 30 from 1994, maybe not quite as good to get into one of those universities. Those students can do the foundation. The foundation will give them qualification, certainly to get into some very, very good universities, but not to get into the absolute top universities. And it's a one-year course. And one of the differences is, with A-levels, with the IB, those examinations are not marked in the school. Those examinations are sent away to the examination board, but with the foundation, we as a school, we as a college, we do have a degree of looking after the students and checking on their results for the foundation. Sorry, no, stay on that. We'll stay there for one moment. I don't know if you can see this from there, but this third bullet point says 3 hours per week of global perspectives. Well, A-levels, IB, foundation, 2 years ago, Cambridge University introduced a new qualification because so many students were getting 4A stars at A-level. So if you've got 4A stars, and you've got 4A stars, and she's got 4A stars, and everyone here's got 4A stars, and I'm a University of Cambridge professor, and I've only got one place, how can I choose between? And students the same in Korea, that every year in England, the government says the standard is getting higher and higher. Teachers are getting better, students are getting better, more students are getting the top grades. Remember, when I went to university, a long time ago, 3% of the population went to university. Now, it's something like 80% goes to university. So because so many people are getting the top grades, Cambridge University introduced a new qualification, Cambridge Pre. More difficult than A-levels, and it's more difficult than the I. The whiteboard here, I will explain to you a little bit about the system. Does everybody understand if I say to you, UCAS? UCAS is basically the university admission system we have in England to get students into 5 choices. They write the different universities down. And then yes, we want you. You have to go away now and you have to get 2 A's and 2 B's. You have to get 4 A's, 3 A's and a B. And then the students go away and do their exam. If they get the right results, they get into the university. Now, I want you to imagine that you're a very, very good student of mathematics. You get an A star in mathematics. Now, an A star carries 120 UCAS points. 120. 1, 2, 0. So, if you get 4 A stars at A level, so you're a fantastic student, trying to get into medical college, let's see at medical college student. You've got an A star in maths, an A star in physics, an A star in chemistry, and an A star in biology. 120, 120, 120, 120, that gives you 480 points. So 480 points, fantastic score, difficult to get, you've got to be medical college. Brilliant. IB doesn't do A, B, C, D, E. The IB does 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I said you do 3 subjects as higher and 3 subjects as standard. Now, you've got 6 subjects there. If the maximum is 7 for each subject, 6 sevens are 42. Right? If you get to 7, which is like getting an A star as A level, you get 7 in the IB, that's equal to about 125 points. So A star, 120 points is A level. IB, 7, top grade, about 125 points. Potentially, because you do, I haven't quite told you that correctly, because you've got 6 subjects, the 6 subjects translate to a little bit higher than A levels for you, a little bit higher. Very, very difficult in the, very difficult to get 42, which is 6, 7 to 42 for the IB, almost impossible. It is possible to get 4 A stars at A level, lots of students get that. Not many students get 6 subjects because you're having to be good at math, you have to be good at languages, you've got to be good at English, your own language, everything. Whereas with the 4A levels, you want to be a doctor, yes, you're probably good anyway in math, physics, chemistry, and biology. Cambridge Pre-U does not do A star, does not do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cambridge Pre-U does distinction, merit, and pass. And with the distinction, it's about 140. So A level, let's say 120, so you can get about 480. IB, 6 subjects, you can get about 500 points. Cambridge Pre-U, if you did get technically about 540 points. Why I like the Cambridge Pre-U is it is more difficult, so it appeals to the very, very best students. But you can mix and match it with A levels. So you could do maths Pre-U and you could do physics A level. You could do maths Pre-U, you could do physics and chemistry A level. You could do maths and physics Pre-U, you could do chemistry and biology A level. You can mix them. You cannot mix the Cambridge Pre-U with the IB. You can with the A level. Part of the Pre-U is this global perspectives here. And the global perspectives teaches the students those critical thinking skills that I do with the arguing, discussing, analysing. They have to write a 5,000 word essay in English. They have to be able to stand up at the end of the year and deliver a presentation a little bit like this without PowerPoints, just speaking. They have to show that they're confident. Because for the top universities, they like to see students who are independent, who can think for themselves, solve problems. Medics program is something which we have running at Cambridge and Canterbury in London. We're trying to increase the number of students in the medical college. Medicine in the UK is very, very competitive. It's hard to become a medical doctor. They're looking for the best students. So to help our students, we have a special program. We help them with work experience so that they can practice working in a hospital. As well as A levels, there are special medical examinations that they have to take in the 6th form. So we help them with those. We also try to put them in touch with different professors just to see if they can help them with their application for medical school. We move on again. Class lots of research has been done on the perfect class size for students for the teacher. And they say the ideal number is 7 students in one. That's apparently the ideal. If it's lower than that, it's too much pressure on the students. If it's more than that, it's difficult for the teacher to get around and speak to it. We don't have 7 students in a class, but we have about 9 to 10 students in our class. We've got a classroom like this would be very, very typical in Cambridge. Yeah, it depends on the subject. If you're doing a subject like economics or mathematics, which is a popular subject, the numbers of students will be more in the class. If you're doing one of the humanities subjects, perhaps law or politics or history, then there will be fewer students in the class. But the average altogether is between about 9.5, 9.6. Sorry, it must be too long. Thanks. Now I get into the college very early every morning. I usually get into the college about 7 o'clock in the morning, just to check that everything's going okay, and to welcome the students into the school. I like to see the students having their breakfast in the school. But what I do notice is, first thing in the morning, usually classes start at 9 o'clock at our college. The students come in about 8 o'clock and they come in for their breakfast. They have breakfast for about an hour, 45 minutes. Then they go to meet their personal tutor. Now, because I get into the school early in the morning, it's quite often to see some of my teachers there doing extra, either with students who are trying to get right to the very, very top, or the students right at the bottom who are finding it. And this is one of our promises, that if students need extra tuition, extra help, we will give that. We don't charge for it, but we encourage all of our tutors to offer 1 or 2 hours each extra to those students who need it. Sorry. Something else which is very, very important is advising students to get to university. That's what they're interested in. They're interested in, can I get to LSE? Can I get to Cambridge? Can I get to Manchester? Can I get to one of these top universities? What should I do there? Are these the best A levels for me? Why does this university ask for these 4 subjects and this university ask for different subjects, but it's the same course? So we have to spend a lot of time with the students, giving them prices unlimited. And quite often I will have the same students coming into my office every day asking me about it. That's part of our job. Vice principal third, English teacher second, my most important job, my number 1 job. And protected and loved. And I extend that philosophy to all of the other students at the college. We believe that if the students feel safe and happy and comfortable and secure, especially when they are thousands of miles, the students from Japan, from Korea, from the bottom of South America, from the bottom of South Africa, they're thousands of miles. They're looking at a new language, a new culture, new food, different weather, so many different things bombarding them at the age of 17 and 18. My point of view, if those students can feel safe, emotionally happy, they will probably make better students again. So, as a company, we have, let's say we have 100% of money, and I'll spend 20% of that on food. I will spend 50% of that on accommodation, where they live. I have to pay the teachers' salaries. on just making sure that there are not their parents, but there are people who are loving and caring, who will look after them when they are living. So the welfare and support is very important. We have psychologists who help students. We have 2 nurses who help students. We have a very, very good ratio of staff supervisors to students. So these are not teachers. These people, their job, I pay them just to be there, put a friendly arm around the students and say, look, it's not so bad. Okay, I'm sorry you're missing your parents. Get better. We welfare support. We're not a Harry Potter boarding school. Students don't live on the premises. They live about 15 to 20 minutes away. We believe that they become more independent and that our students, by the time they get to university, are better prepared. Now, I've been talking to you about CATS, and I've been talking to you, I hope you understood a little bit about A-levels, IB, New Qualification Course. As well as A-levels, we teach pre-A-levels for students who are looking. And of course, we teach students A-levels, we ask for an IELTS 5. Research says that for students to go from a 5 IELTS to a 6 IELTS, about 140. Now, of course, if a student is very, very good, they can maybe do it in 60 hours. But if a student is not so good at languages, they may take 200 hours. When the students, after 2 years, apply for their university place, the universities, these top universities, IELTS 6.5. And the most important of the 4 skills, the one that the universities really look at. Last year, we had some very, very good students who applied to the London School of Economics, and they had 8 in reading, a 7 in 9 in speaking, and a 5 in writing. So their overall score, their overall IELTS score was something like a 7.5. UCL. Writing score. That is a 7 in quite high. What I was going to do now was I was actually just going to change the mood a little bit, and I was going to put on, I've sent you 2 videos. I don't know if we can show those. No, we can't. No. Sorry. Okay, so I spoke to you about CATS. If you come to Cambridge, and you're very welcome to come, I'd love to see some of you in Cambridge at some point. College is right in the centre, but it's actually 2 colleges. There's CATS, which is for the 6th form. Acronym for Cambridge School of Visual and Performance. And this is where the students who want to do drama, or music, or fashion will go to. And what I've done is, I've given a link, which you can copy later if you want to have a look at. It tells you about all of the programs at CSDPA. But basically, they run a number of courses. They run a pre-foundation, they run a foundation course, and they also run a bachelor's degree program in fashion. And the students CATS, my job is to get the students into the Russell Group universities, these really top universities. CSDPA, their job is to get the students into RADA, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, the Royal Academy of Music, places like Benetton, Giorgio Armani, the big fashion chains. So they concentrate on those very, very prestigious destinations, and my job is to concentrate on the academic prestigious destinations as far as universities go. Students at CSDPA tend to be a little bit older. They're usually 18, 19, and the students on the degree course are 21, 22. My students at CATS are a little bit younger. They tend to be 16. Right. I think I've spoken for long enough. I hope you've understood a little bit about UCAS and the points and the 3U. I hope you've understood a little bit about the difference between Cambridge, where we do A-levels, Cambridge, where we do the IB. Remember, I also said about 2 years for most students, for 1 year you're very good to do A-levels, and I spoke about this new qualification called Cambridge Pre. I also said something about foundation, students who perhaps don't have the time for 2 years, not looking for those top universities, are looking for ones below the 1994 group. So I gave you 2 new words. I gave you the Russell Group, which is the top ones, and the 1994, which is university. I've got some business cards which I'm quite happy to pass around. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy for you to email me about any questions about courses that we have at CATS, or generally about British education in general. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for typing everything there so diligently. I was told to speak for 45 minutes, and I've spoken for 40